So, pretty much gradually throughout this route, we've seen poor Mercury and Saturn alike both be disillusioned with celestial mechanics and its leader, who's a real piece of shit. And both, Saturn has a plan to sort of get the drop on him, to get Mercury, to get Ganymede out. Man, this started off really... Pardon me 1 second. This started off really just ridiculous and Saturn being crazy and fun. The longer this is going on, the more we've seen just the depths of everything that they've both been through with celestial mechanics. So now we're off to the Garden District. The Garden District closest to the malfunctioning and broken tidal reactor that kept the colony together. Time and space aren't quite right. It's the perfect place for a real fight. How deep under Luna-Terra's skin do you think she can get? Let's find out. This place. You don't feel like seeing home again? Oh, come on. Don't tell me you don't have any fond memories of the Academy. I do, despite myself. And that's why I don't have any wish to see it like this. A ruined garden that only reminds us how weak the gravity of this whole venture really was compared to Earth. Not to mention it was all for something completely worthless, too. Wait, now you're grumbling about a mission? This is historic. The Lagrange reactor is just a hollow shell. There's barely any advantage to have in getting it. This better be a trap to use you as bait to get Memorial Foundation off our trail. Oh no, what a terrible trap to fall in. More flirting, I see. Is it unbearable? Yes, extremely. Are you really still getting nowhere with her? What are you talking about? I think you said you were going to crack her open and peel her shell, but I don't think you have. You don't know anything. Shut. Am I completely and utterly correct then? She's highly evasive. Point blank or sniper shot, I can't seem to hit her. Your type, I see. Shut up. I got the Academy's most notorious heartbreaker to look like an idiot at me. So I win. So shut up. She's even stupider than I thought she was. But she's not as stupid as me. You're the one with your guts all over the place. Oh, just... fine. I'm frustrated, alright? But it's not because I'm not getting anywhere, because I even care. Alright, this time I'm done playing. Happy? If there's anything there, or if she's just metal all the way through, I'm gonna find out. If she is that boring, I'll never forgive her. But I'm coming back with guts this time. Oh, Seems like a good point to save. Let's fight for real in a fun way. Let's see what happens here. A surprise attack isn't very sporting. Don't be jealous just because I got mine off first. You got a wound on me, and a Lagrange reactor shell. That not a good enough deal? No way. In fact, apologize. Hiding so I can't surprise you again is so unfair, Luna-Terra. Let me bully you some more. I'll pass. Are you sure? You sure you don't want to get bullied? See if you can find me first. You like cat and mouse games, don't you? You want to try it again? I won't let you just play a game this time. Can you find me even when I'm serious? Then I'll get serious. Luna-Terra hides in the Garden District, the one part of the colony she has no memories of. The Garden District doesn't have any trees or flowers or plants. It's not that kind of garden. A garden for the children meant to inherit space. Not like Luna-Terra, who came in the first generation, teenagers too old and too molded by Earth's gravity to inherit the cosmos. The second generation was raised here, in the light of the colony's center, the Lagrange tidal reactor Luna-Terra remembers like the sun, with the hope that they would grow freely in the lightest of gravity, free of Earth's weight. Luna-Terra is the one holding the useless shell of that reactor now. Even broken and useless, LT doesn't feel comfortable holding it. It's an unpleasant, untrustworthy object, and it feels wrong to hold. It was made by people, but it doesn't seem like it was. It's a fake, but it's unsettlingly close to what celestial mechanics eventually intended it to be when they seized control of the reactor before the conflict broke out. Something not made by humans, something alien. If it's so useless, why don't you just give it back? You can tell what I'm thinking, huh? Or read between the lines. Just like Pluto, but different. I can't actually influence the narrative, but I can still read it. Something I still can't understand. You've been playing with her too, haven't you? I sure have. Jealous? Of which of us, though? Both. I could never read the story like you both. I'm straightforward. That's not even a little true. You're being way too stingy with the narration. Narration? You can't perceive space-time as a story? A narration spun out of the ambient gravity of humans? Telling you about everything that is? If you can listen? You can't see how obviously your envy is bleeding out and everywhere, can you? I'm slipping, huh? Letting out more than I thought? But see why I'm jealous? I don't know anything about what you mean. I wish I could speak that language. Because you were in the first generation, still tied down by Earth's gravity. Yeah, it's amazing. You should really be sad you don't speak it. I just have this absence. Your impression of the narrative is something like a spilled whiteout, a gushing ocean of bleach, which is the pain in the ass for someone like us. You also have a habit of acting too fast to get caught up in the story, especially when it's not going your way. 3 times faster than the story knows what to do with. That's how. You are different than Pluto. She would swell into the atmosphere, but you slowly bleed into the spaces between the lines. I can feel you seeping through. Blurring the lines between one and the other. What is it you're after? Curious? Then stop hiding! The rain-slick streets are looking more and more the same. The weather is malfunctioning, and the moisture regulator is shot, and the failing gravity is doing strange things, playing strange tricks. Mari Christiana's feet are wet. She's afraid. She's falling right into a trap that feels like it's in every direction at once. You can't trick me. Luna-Terra dodges at the last second, or was never there. If Saturn bleeds into the narrative, then Luna-Terra's trick is having a real habit of interrupting the story just when it's getting good. Good thing she'll never know how much Saturn and Pluto think that's cool. I have eyes too, Luna-Terra. Don't think gravity alone is enough. Saturn swipes again. Luna-Terra wouldn't be hit by such a thing, but she isn't ready for the dripping. Sparkling, narrow lighting. She misjudges the distance, the unsureness of gravity. Mari Chrysium sparks and bleeds from her left arm. Luna-Terra springs her spear, crushes the string of pearls to the ground. Oh. Ow. It crumples, then darts away, lost in the mist. Saturn's worse off, but her machine will fix itself, and the poison in Mari Chrysium's system is only getting worse. Yeah, you almost got me, but not quite. Is your game off a little today, Luna-Terra? I thought you were going to be serious. You're going to have to do a lot better than that if you want to see me serious. You're misunderstanding? I'm going to cheat. You're the one who has to take this seriously. How is that arm feeling? Still sparking? Still gooey? Doesn't take that much, you know. Have you been cleaning your system regularly? What kind of fight are you looking for? A one-sided fight where you try your hardest and still lose? Looking for payback? Oh, what? No, who cares about that? It's for you. Because you love getting owned. You're never holding back. There's no way I can beat you. You're even stronger than any story anyone's told about you. You always win and no one touches you. If ship self fights for life and death, that'd make you a genius. But they're not. They're made in the image of plastic toys to fight like plastic toys. So that makes you an idiot for not playing along and being honest. You'll save a lot of time if you give in and say I'm right now. If you beat me for real, that'll be all the answer you need. Stoic to the last, but that's great. Your holding out on me is actually kinda delicious. When's the story gonna tell me what's happening? When are you gonna let me hear about all the static in your joints, the trembling in your mask, your slackening grip? I'm on the edge of my seat waiting to know. Luna-Terra knows that it's true. Saturn can't sense where she is at all, but she knows immediately that Luna-Terra knows she knows. Tell me about all that and I promise, without any hate or fear, I'll listen. You don't believe it, but I promise, I won't laugh or hurt you. I can't see you, so you can escape if you want. I'll let you keep that little ball even, and the poison will wear off, but I want to see. Don't you want to show me? Ooh! Mari Chrysium crashes to the ground, skids along the wet streets of the colony. Her legs give out, and her arms are too weak to catch her fall. A string of pearls lands gently, surprisingly. That's what these ships were meant to do. They're meant to land gently. Even the electrotoxins are tingly, not painful, in a warm, numbing sort of way, like licking a battery with every part of your body. There's no way that Luna-Terra can stand up. As soon as she lets it all in, she falls like a mess, totally defeated. Oh wow, you really did it. You got so quiet. You're so well trained. You're the big strong ace, but you shut down so quickly. You really can't deal with me at all. Why is that? Didn't you say you weren't going to bully me? I'm showing all possible restraint. Oh, you really did make it hard. I thought you were kind of cool. You really acted like you knew what you were doing. Even though you were so scared. Leave me alone. Oh no, baby. But you love this? You're looking forward to it. I can see right through you. These ships are meant to touch. If you never lose, you never let anyone in. Thinking of this as losing at all is actually kind of sad. These ships are meant to touch. And yet Luna-Terra is always the distant sniper, the ace, the proud one. By being the sniper from the distance, good at stealth, good at hiding, able to strike down enemies from long distance. Of course you never let anyone in. You want to give this all up and drag me home? Are you really sure? Luna-Terra, you really ought to not lie to me that so much. This smug, untouchable Luna-Terra that I used to hate, she's so boring. With the you that you don't want anyone else to see. That's a much better you. That's the you that I want to see. Whoa. Luna-Terra is conscious of her own breath, of the unconscious, pulsing rhythm of her ship self, which trembles, and not just from the electrotoxins. She really can't move in any sort of effective way. What she's feeling isn't fear, or even helplessness. It's anticipation. If she thought that she trusted Saturn as much as anyone else, not at all. Now that she has no choice, she's surprised. She trusts Saturn so much, even knowing exactly what she wants to do. Saturn plucks the broken reactor out of Mare Crisium's hands and tosses it away like trash. And I will. Now that I have the power to peel your skin off and see it. I'm really happy. I never thought I'd finally get to see you like this, even though you're letting me. Little secrets just for me, that the narration will never tell. For you only. So only I get to see you twitching and helpless? No one else knows? Not telling, but it's just for you, so keep it ambiguous. Got it. I could be straddling you and pitting you. That's certainly possible, but not for certain. I'm not saying anything definite. You've got it. Thank you. I've got my pride. Yeah? Your pride? Tell me about that? It's worth a lot to me. Then I'm worth even more, right? Oh, that's what Saturn wants. Oh. January 30th, 1981. And the day is almost here. Deadline to save everyone who came up into space with us, fought with us, tried to bring everyone up with us. We shut down the lunar gravity well, there won't be any choice left. Power that keeps our ship selves in check will fall apart. We won't have anywhere else to go but home. If we kill the dream, no one will die. I really, really hope that's true. No one should die in space. No one should die, period. No one has to die. Because ship self-combat is shimmering missiles of light, cosmic explosions, electricity that sears through the soul. Blade science is impossible for a human to produce. Dances of combat without an end. A fight against ideas with toys. Humans would never show that sort of compassion to each other. Earth answers a single atomic particle fired at near light speed directly into the cockpit core. A true weapon from a military force. The quickest, most efficient, instantaneous, unavoidable way to kill a human. The most boring way possible to pointlessly die. No drama, no meaning, just nothing. Save everyone before Earth decides to end them. January 30th, 1981. In the end, they might get everything they want, in the way that no one wants. If we open up the lunar gravity well, then we can establish forever another Earth, and maybe another. We can inhabit the whole system. That will cut humanity into two and more. Distance will be so much further. Everything we have will be even farther from them. How much are we going to lose? How much will we never be able to give them? The moon is very close to being a part of Earth. It's full of life. Humans can live here now. It feels impossible, and I don't want to give it up. We should break it off forever, shouldn't we? All I want is to stitch these two humanities together. But if one of us dies as a result, I will fight forever to keep that precious thing alive. January 30th. They don't name it because naming it gives it power, but not naming it gives it more. It must be in every corner, behind every door, far, far away in the spaces between stars. It is defined and categorized every human culture. It is deliberately omitted from explicit naming conventions by Memorial Foundation in favor of a euphemism less captivating to the imagination, such as existential threat. rather than a specific word that would stimulate the imagination. A trick like this will not work, and the euphemism is a hollow void that can hold all fears and all possibilities. Through gravity, humans decide what is real and what is not. But what is not does not stop existing, and it, like humans, can decide. It's the kiss of inverse, everything that humans can imagine but can't become. The shortcut to attaining it is to forsake everything that humans already are. If a bunch of idiots get tricked into going there, it would make a very convenient enemy for Earth. That's their real fear. Before that happens, I will tell you a little secret. Ready? So that's Epteus' plan. To trick the people under him who are just trying for a future in space. To undergo eversion, become the aliens that Earth can unite and hunt down and destroy, become the enemy, become the scapegoat. Not him. Of course not him. Route installation complete. New OS in operation. Celestial Mechanics fleet collecting in the orbit of Earth's moon. Request for assistance received. Ignore. Awaiting manual input of mission parameters. Assist Cradle's Graces and Celestial Mechanics with the opening of the gravity well and changing gravitational constants to make conflict with Earth possible. Mission created. Get in as much trouble as possible with Memorial Foundation Ace. Mission created. Calculating gravitational slingshot data from server hack. Ready for launch? Yeah. Accepted. Normalizing gravitational slingshot effect. Prep for immediate launch to Earth's moon. Okay, we're still a little, Okay. Do you think about Neath still? That's out of nowhere. Think about them every day, obviously. They're the reason Celestial Mechanics exists. First to understand what happened to them. And then, I guess we couldn't stop thinking about it. But how to make what happened to them happen to us? We still don't know what it was exactly. They had us all get together to reach through space and time and contact the existential threat wherever it came from. To make sure that it truly had been defeated for good. I think they were really hoping it wasn't. We felt the same, especially us who never got to fight it. We reached together as far as we could, and Neath reached farther than anyone. I didn't think it would have been them before anyone else, but I didn't know them. Was it that they reached too far? Or what? Or something reached to them? What's the difference? In the end, they got it. Whatever it was. Are you having second thoughts? Maybe. They were the only one. I always wondered why that was. Were they special? In a good way or a bad way? Were they chosen? What would be the criteria? We know it's none of that, though. Just a lonely, unchosen child. Without so little presence in the world, they fell into another one. That's how it is. The only trick is how to do it on purpose. That's just it. Are we too attached? I want to be something new and share it with everyone. Am I too heavy for that apple? It's a thin line between falling into inverse because you have hope and because you don't have any left. You should be glad it's not so easy, you know. Falling into inverse. And Neath. let's read these first. Okay. Why Children? From Memorial Foundation Space Program Documentation. Author, Director Nix. That name again. They aren't children anymore. When they were pilots, they were. For all the obvious reasons that children are most suited to be pilots than adults. Since the decline of the space program, there have been fewer and fewer waves of new recruits. The current pilot generations have no successors. Adults are serving as pilots because there are no longer any children in space, and adults should not have to serve as pilots. It would be cruel to send children to fight a war so that adults don't have to, especially as adults have far more powerful tidal forces than children in their physical and metaphorical manifestation. Oh, crossed over sentences there. In their physical and metaphorical manifestation, tides are the measurement of the authority that culture has over the universe, the light of the soul that turns all impossible things into our dominion. Oh, apologies. The gravitational forces of children are weak enough to perceive and engage the existential threat without obliterating it instantly. As a cancer that exerts a subtle influence in the back of our unknowing minds, they are suited to protect us from it. For this reason, Memorial Foundation has pushed against traditional cultural institutions for engaging existential threats with this more humane practice. Due to the resiliency of children and detrimental long-term effects contact with the existential threat has on adults in the vast majority of cases. In some exceptional circumstances, contamination lingers in children. The gravitational forces never achieve sufficient power to extinguish the existential threat without resistance. Without the tidal force to challenge other adults, they remain in limbo, unsuited to anything else. The remaining small percentage of the original pilot program that continues to reside in space is made of such cases. The broken lab girls who left behind. Pluto, the broken princess of Cradle's Graces, who had to be perfect but could never be quite perfect. As much as she wanted them to stop trying to make her perfect, they just kept trying. Saturn, the not quite ace of celestial mechanics, who I think we can summarize her story. She was in the second generation. She went through an experimental procedures involving implants and other unpleasant stuff to augment her abilities, pretty much. So she my words, how do they work? So she could keep up with the third generation. She was, in all manners of the word you can think of, groomed by the director of Celestial Mechanics. And then I'm assuming when she finally she was essentially tossed aside, not made the pilot. So naturally she stepped in and took it for herself. This looks interesting, though. Memorial Foundation. Central Classified. author, Memorial Foundation, Celestial Mechanics. Thank you. I'm no different from my former colleagues. I think we all want the same thing, ultimately. Every one of us. I'd implore you to be forgiving of them, though not of their methods. Many of us are thankful for the ending of the Cold War. The paranoia and suspicion that accompanied the strength of the existential threat in this world, as it fed on the trauma and malaise and discontent of the world after the war. But I think some of us must have had some reservation about the future, and abandoning existential threats to address the threats of our home will inevitably result in us turning to conflict between humans once more, and in turn the existential threat will thrive. We are looking for the smoothest, most uncontested future. I won't lie, this will not ensure happiness for everyone. In fact, it may be difficult to understate how much it will ensure the opposite for what we will ensure It may be difficult to understand how much it will ensure the opposite for what we will ensure are very few. But what I'm proposing will ensure the maximum happiness for the maximum number of people. And what else can we do? Take these kids in space, make them alien, make them the enemies to Earth? Okay. I promised a Luna-Terra episode today. So, Earth has promised to let the children of space sort themselves out. For now. But their machines of war guard the way back home, just in case. When Saturn and Luna-Terra meet in a chance encounter, the true terror of humanity stares them down. Spinning up tidal reactor. Frequency double checks. First turn. 100%. Frequency double checks. Second turn. Stop and spin them again. From 0? Again? Where were they at? 99.99999%, but it doesn't matter. They should be at 100%, so we're spinning them again. Mercury, if I go out and die, it's not going to be because we didn't double check every reactor pulse. Saturn, this time, please, could you listen for once? No matter how useless I know that telling you this is, I know I say this over and over, but can you listen? Seriously. Tell me you're not going to be risky. This time. It's not a game anymore. This mission is different. It's not ship self to ship self. Those troops are real weapons from Earth, designed for threats that are real, not existential. They are perfectly capable of killing. They are designed for no other purpose. That's not going to even be an issue, though, because your orders are strictly to observe, and not get remotely close enough to engage. They won't leave stationary orbit around the near side of the moon. They're Earth's insurance plan. We can ignore them as soon as we make sure that's all they are doing. Don't joke about dying. That can happen. It won't if everything is perfect and you do exactly what you're supposed to. It finally matters this time, and you... Mercury, please. I'm actually really sorry, Mercury. I didn't mean to make you worry. I didn't mean to make you really worry, for real. I promise I'm not trying to die, okay? I promise, okay? Making poor choices about who to kiss and what to do isn't the same thing. I listen to you when it's for real, okay? I wouldn't cross the line. You're my friend. No one else. No one else is worth you. You're the most important. We've been through so much. Too much. I wouldn't ever go back, or throw everything we've got away. You know that, right? Sorry, I'm acting like I forgot. Mercury? Hey, say something. You idiot. Give me a minute. Damn it, I was gonna act like I tricked you. I was gonna get to feel smug, making you think everything was serious, and I was gonna lord it over you. But now I'm crying, asshole! Sorry about me, but I love you too. Don't worry. Oh. Mmm. 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 After that for Mercury, I'm not gonna risk dying. It's winter on the near side of the moon, which means that it'll be half a month before this hemisphere sees day again. The frosted forest will see spring in a week, summer the week after, and fall the week after that. A year of seasons in a month-long day. Even terraform, could humans live like that? On the near side, though, at least the Earth will always be in the sky. Eternally huge, shining with authority and kindness. Unlike its agent, who hangs in the corner of the sky like a migraine aura. There's nothing extraneous about its shape. It's here to do just two things. Look, then kill. When Saturn flew a millimeter too high, the autonomous military unit looked, then killed, but just too slow. And Luna-Terra pushed her away, and dragged them both deep into the winter forest. The unit looks twice as hard. It's been encouraged to not miss twice. Shh! Don't make a sound. You're being too noisy. I get that a lot, but this time I'm not making any noise. Don't tell me to be quiet. You're the one flitting all over the place. They're listening for gravity. Vibrations are not the kind of noise that they care about. So keep moving and don't make noise in your heart. Don't make a sound in all possible senses. Don't make a sound physically, emotionally, or spiritually. Calm down. They don't like it if you're not calm. First of all, that makes no sense. Secondly, I refuse. Oh, the drone moved. I don't think you should die. So think of something else to do instead, because they can kill you. Unlike me or any ship's elf. So think about as little as you can, okay? And keep your tidal reactor's output to a minimum. It helps to make yourself be like an object. You will be a thing that other things happen to, rather than an agent. That's what it's looking for. Agency. So it can make it cease immediately. You know, I'm actually super good at that. I have a lot of experience with it. So I'm absolutely not going to. Saturn. Well, me too. That's why I suggested it. But you're right. I shouldn't have suggested it like that. How about this instead? Start by thinking about the Earth. Ooh. The autonomous device becomes visible instantaneously. It doesn't look anything like a ship's self. It bears no resemblance to a human shape, because there's no intention for its design to accommodate humans. That's the opposite of what it does. It has nothing to express, only a function to perform. What'd I do? Probably thought too hard about Earth, but shh, all the same. It's so creepy. That's supposed to represent Earth? It doesn't even look like humans made it. Really? I think it's rather appropriate it doesn't look human at all. They can detect an artificial gravity reactor, but they don't really know what to do unless they can lock a target and kill it. So if it can't verify what it's doing, what it is, it won't do anything. It feels so heavy suddenly. What is this? I'm telling you, that's the Earth. Real gravity. It's very, very heavy. You can feel its authority. That That's the gulf between us and a planet. I know that, because it feels really differently to feel it in person. You were saying, a way to avoid it? Do you remember being a normal kid, even for a little bit? Or do you remember the last time you acted convincingly like one? Obviously. I was a real good kid, you know? It's checking your gravity against a script. And it thinks... Sorry, it doesn't think. It just checks that variance. Aren't I pretty excessively varied by now? Just wait there a second. It's hard to teach on the spot. As if I don't know the idea. How are you so good at it? It sounds like you kind of hate that I am. I promised I wouldn't die, but I'm mad I have to do this. Luna-Terra crawls slowly through the frostbitten green crater to where Saturn is curled among cold desert junipers. The dark, barely perceptible dot monitors them in the pale Earthlight, so precisely waiting. It's easier to hide if their ship selves are turned off, or as close to that as a ship self can be. So they climb outside the cold lunar winter to wait. I'm here. Are you doing okay? No, obviously. I'm scared. Me too. So forget what I said. I hate doing that too. You warm? Lying there? You're not warm at all. But at least your boobs are soft. The autonomous unit doesn't like flirting, huh? Yeah. You should think instead about how you're keeping a secret. Keeping it really close. Waiting for the perfect moment. And no one else can know. Okay, I can do that. That's not as bad. Is it that big a difference? There is infinite difference between someday and never. I've extremely forgotten how to be patient, but I know the difference. You're right. It really is important to never forget. It's still not going away. Yeah. It's a lot more patient than us, huh? It's looking at you, too. Aren't you on their side? Just because we want Earth back doesn't mean Earth wants us back. So Memorial Foundation really is that stupid? Maybe. In their eyes, we're as bad as you. So why go back? Because fuck them. Damn right. They don't want anything to do with us. Memorial Foundation thinks it's optimal for humanity to return. But I think many humans think it would be just fine if we died. That just makes me want to come back to Earth even more. Yeah, spite I can understand. Heh, I can be petty too. I want back, even if only for spite. We will bring them back a little taste of what it is like to be us. They're afraid that we might bring something back with us. They should be, much more than they already are. That's what I want. Knowing that you're just as petulant and petty as me, and this week too, makes me reconsider you. In a good way. It's wonderful. Maybe makes me want to fall in love. Oh, huh. I said maybe. Don't get full of yourself. Sorry. There's no way we're getting any more than half of what we want, at best. You're only hoping for half of what you want. So I wonder if you'll even get that. If you get it. I don't expect things to go my way, but, you know. I hope you're coming along, wherever it is. Truer than you know, LT. Whichever way we go, we're going together. In this cosmic glow, we're going wherever we're going together. I love you. Get used to me now. You made me go upside down on purpose again. You're so good at evasion, but scoring a direct hit is so easy. You win. It'll be nice to see the end of every world but this one alongside you. See? The machine's already bored. Or not bored, but uncomprehending. And then it lost interest. But I'll stay here with you until it leaves for good. Because flight or fight, petty bitch to petty bitch, lab rat to upperclassman Brad. Nah, what, really? You maybe love me too? Oh. Oh. Oops. We got some really high alignment with Memorial Foundation here. Let's go. Oh. Pilot program training documentation. By the end of the space program, with recruitment having stopped almost a decade before the official decommissioning of the space program, all the pilots had become adults. Yet they were recruited as children, and spent the fiercest years of fighting against the existential threat as children. Much like criticisms levied at the scout programs on Earth, it was a motion that Memorial Foundation considered heavily in deciding how to recruit their pilots. Children have no special piloting qualities, with much weaker tidal authority than adults, who, of course, have the tidal authority to engage other adults. Adults would be stronger, more powerfully able to use ship cells, much more so the beloved and chosen adults rather than the discarded and flawed children that were chosen. On Earth, adults with much stronger tidal forces than children will destroy the accidental threat before even comprehending it. Because of this, those threats are able to hide in the world and prey on those who are more weak, such as children, those who are unchosen even as adults, those who are strong enough to struggle with other humans, those who are weaker protect the rest from the trivial threats outside humanity. Sustained contact with the existential threat often exacerbates this effect. There is a cold, twofold reason for delegating who will and who will not confront the existential threats. Children and the unchosen bear the burden so adults will not be worn away. It's like, on one hand, I want to call that hypocritical, in that sending kids to confront the existential threat so that adults can just focus on fighting each other and not be worn away by the threat. But on the other hand, it makes another good point. Kids aren't quite weak enough to destroy the existential threat, but they can perceive it. Prolonged contact has adverse effects, but if they can perceive it and fight it, by the time those kids grow up into adults, they can keep the threat from escaping. And that's really at its core just base description. That is ideally how we get rid of threats like everything that's still prevalent in the world today. Like racism, sexism, class ism, the gap between fucking billionaires and the poor. It's all I mean, there's still a lot that we can do as adults to fight back against this shit. But as a whole, it depends on kids being raised to better accept the people around them, to understand that this shit is going on and it's bad. By the time that generation grows up into adults and starts filling positions in public, if that attitude spreads, that's really the way to combat stuff like that. Otherwise, the threats just get lost, get hidden beneath other shit in the news, other man, that's everything's ready for you. I wish you would let me help you more. You'll be fine back home without a ship. I envy you a little bit. Piloting is for girls and jocks. It's not my thing. But I wish I was coming with you. Sometimes, a very, very tiny bit. Mercury, we are very different, but I love you. We're parts of the same thing. We wanted the same things. I'll walk alongside you until we get them. Really? You're not leaving? Possibly forever? If I'm leaving, you're coming with me. If I stay, I'll bring you home. You know you can't rely on me for anything, but you can count on me for this. I promise. I promise. You promise with correct punctuation and capitalization? So you know it's real. Oh, what else can I do to pay you back? Oh, she's serious now. Nothing. I count on you for a lot, Saturn. The same way you count on me. Oh, no. That hits me right here. It hits me right here. These two are the best. These two are the best. I love them, and whatever happens in the coming final chapter and ending, whether the ending's the same as Pluto's or not, whether we're working to the same conclusion, I hope that these two get happiness, get to live happy, whatever the outcome. Because, my God, that... I just... I was in love with these two from the very beginning. The very first conversations they had together. It's fucking... Poor Mercury, so tired of all of this shit. And poor Saturn, just incorrigible. But my God, just how simple, how just effortlessly they both develop that relationship between them just through those chats. It's how effortlessly that just develop their relationship into just complex, just inseparable friends who would do anything for each other, who aren't going to leave each other behind no matter what. They just want the best for each other. Even after all this, went through hell together. Similar trauma dealing with all the shit with the director. Went through hell together. Still working for him in roles that they don't 100% believe in. Just because they believe there's still a future up here.
It's, these two, man. These two. Hit me right here. Right in the feel. Right in my cold, cold heart.